All right, so on Facebook, I had two people comment on my last post about so basically what I'm trying to say, you are going to take all of your income, every penny that you earn, you're just going to write that down on a piece of paper, everything that you earn. Then you're going to put when you get those income, whatever you're earning, you're going to put when those monies are coming in, which during which time of the month. If you get it on the 2nd, the 3rd, the 15th, that's what I'm talking about. You're just writing down the money that you have coming in, because you need to make sure that you understand how much money you have coming in, right? And follow me. Once you do that, you're going to make sure that you write down all of your bills and expenses, every little thing, Apple subscriptions, any subscriptions that you have, write that down, your bills. You're going to write down your property tax. You're going to write all that down. And again, you're going to do the same thing in that column. You're going to write down when those things are due. And that's it. Because what I'm trying to get you guys to understand is how much you have coming in and how much you have coming out. Then the next column, your debt. You're going to try to remember how much debt you owe. If you got to pull your credit report, that's probably the smartest thing to do, because you can see things that you don't even know you owe. Or try to find out how you can figure out all your bills. That should take about at least a week, maybe 2 weeks. 2 weeks if you're really trying to make sure that you don't miss nothing. Okay? Once you look at those, see what you have coming in versus what you have coming out. Then that's when you're going to start doing the math part of it. You're going to start adding it up. Once you add up all of what's coming in, what's coming out, and what is due, and then you're going to look at your debt. After you look at all of those numbers, you're going to be able to see, one, where your money is going. Because you're going to be like, oh my God, I'm spending money on this. Where's it going? That's when you probably need to go back into that bank account and look at all your transactions. Okay? You have to be looking at each one of transaction, especially if you're starting from zero. Okay? Once you do all that, you then need to decide if you need to file bankruptcy. I want to scream this. Sometimes you may have to file bankruptcy, okay? Because if you don't have the money to pay to get those things off your credit, then you have to file bankruptcy. Another thing, look at your benefits. If you are employed, see what benefits your job offers, because some of these companies have law firms that you can use to file bankruptcy. Luckily, my job did. If your job does not, you need to find a law firm and ask them about pricing. Now, from my experience, and I have filed chapters 13 and chapters 7. One cost me $18, it might have been $2,300, I think. And the other one only cost me about $400, $200, if that, because of the the benefit that I had throughout my job. Once all you do that and you file bankruptcy, they're going to walk you through the steps on how to rebuild your credit. It's up to you to comprehend that information and ask questions about how can you then rebuild your credit, because that is a part of budgeting and your income and all of that together. Now, if you find out that you are not having enough income coming in, you then need to figure out how to make more money. And the only way that you can make more money if you have a bunch of kids, is to try to do content, to do UGC creation. That prevents you from having to go out and do Amazon Flex or do Instacart with your child, with trying to gas and all that. That eliminates that problem. Also, there are apps that you can download, like Venmo. If you get a Venmo account, regardless if you use it or not, you can play games and get money off the apps. Now, another thing, again, while we talked about mindset from the beginning, is because I want you to think about every time that you are spending money, you have to think about that money is going towards something. That is from what I've heard other content creators say. That's how the rich keep themselves being rich. So if you like what I discussed, make sure that you follow me. You can like, comment, and share. Also, make sure that you're following me on all of my platforms. I'm on TikTok. I'm on TikTok. It's called Pretty But Practical. I think Facebook is Seema Bradford, and Instagram is Pretty Practical Seema. That's where you can follow me at. I'm going through this journey as well. I'm starting from zero, and there's a lot of times where I have to keep starting over, but I'm going to get there. Why? Because I have the help of you guys. You guys are going to motivate me, and you guys are also going to put below what you want me to discuss more, information that you want me to find, because I don't know everything. But one thing about me, I'm going to find out. About finances and expenses and budgeting, basically. So I'm calling these Mondays Mindset Mondays, something I've been wanting to do for a long time. The first part of getting your finances together will honestly be your mindset. Boring, I know, but it is, because I had to get out of like old mindsets that I was stuck in, that was keeping me poor, to be honest. I also had to learn delayed gratification, and I had to start telling my daughters no, and we couldn't do like certain fun things that we like to do all the time, because like every penny was counting, just because of where I was at financially, starting from zero. And another thing too that I had to learn is that I had a lot of anxiety around money. So not having enough money in my bank account, or just feeling like I'm not having enough, was unhealthy for me, because it was distracting me from making all the money that you can make, because it's possible to get access to making a lot of money. You just have to honestly change your mindset. You have to be consistent, and you have to learn when to just be like, okay, no. Because for me, I be wanting to have fun, because I feel like my kids has missed out on so much from before, but it's like it don't even matter right now, because I have a goal that I want to reach. So that would be the first step. And the second step to me that you can then start doing is, you got to look at every single penny that comes in, whatever that is. I don't care. Like for me, I use Fetch Rewards. I use apps called Join Brands. That's where apps I get money from. That will be accounted for my income. Of course, it will be in a different part of my income budget. It's not income. It's gonna be a part of my income, but it's not. It's more to it than it just being a part of my income. It varies, right? So once I figured out how much money I was making, then I had to figure out all of my bills that I was all my expenses. And like that's everything down to annoying Apple subscriptions. I had to make sure that those things was accounted for too, because that was the money that was leaving my pockets. Anything in between that, any little thing that you spend your money on, it doesn't matter what it is. I don't care if it's $1, penny, like that. To me, that's something that you would have to account for when you're doing your budget.